Hey there, Knicks fans. How are you doing? Jeremy, you know what today is? Not today, actually today, because we're recording this on Saturday, but today in the future when people are listening to this. Do you know what today is?
I don't know what today is.
You're an idiot. Jeremy Cohen, my wonderful co-host.
It's like 2 days after the day after tomorrow kind of situation. There are too many days that you're throwing at me. Like, I don't even know what yesterday was. And yet,
how did they never make a sequel to that? Did you ever see that movie, The Day After Tomorrow?
No, I didn't.
It's bad.
But I love on South Park, they spooked it and they were like 2 days before the day after tomorrow. And then it's like, wait, that's today. And then
I didn't know. I didn't know they spoofed, but how do they never make a sequel to that called The Day After Tomorrow? But I digress. No, today, when folks are listening to this, today is media day. It's the opening of training camp, and it's been how many months in the making? Man, if you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you when the season ended. It was in June, right?
Oh no, it was
the playoffs. So we played into June, I believe, right?
Yes, I think what happened was that people were like, "Oh my God, the Knicks are playing in June."
Yeah. It ended on June 2nd.
There you go. So June, July, August. So it's been 4. Wow, it's been a whole 4. I got to tell you, 4 months has kind of flown by.
It has. I mean, think about considering how, like, with a normal season, it would have in the past it's ended in April. And then this new season starts in October. So, like there would be an extra 2 months of time. And this is going to happen in the future, probably. Actually not as much, because as long as the Knicks are good, then that window of time between games shortens.
You hear that? Don't edit this out of post.
Yeah, I'll knock on wood too. So yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot longer, but I feel like that's what she said. I feel like it's the sort of thing where it works out and we're almost there. It's great. I can't wait for media day, for training camp, preseason, and then we're there. We're here.
We're almost there. I can't wait. We're there. We're here. I'm not going to say it. Okay. Well, we have a jam-packed episode for you today. We, of course, are the thing that everybody's really here for. The finale of I Know the Knicks, in which I will leave no doubt in anyone's mind who the dominant brain is. Translation, who the old guy is on this episode or on this podcast. But before we get there, we actually have some, I don't know. Would you qualify anything that has happened or anything that was said on Friday or anything that has come out as news? You know what? The vaccinated thing, we should start there, right? That's news. So, congratulations to the New York Knicks. You're all vaccinated. Woohoo! Round of applause. Thank you for being, I'm just going to say, thank you for being intelligent humans. Like, could we just say that? Is that okay?
Yeah. Look, here's the bottom line, right? New York has a law.
Yes.
That you have to be vaccinated to play. That is the bottom line. And the Knicks are all vaccinated. So I'm very glad that they're vaccinated for a number of reasons. But if we're just going to look at the being in accordance with the law and ability to play, mission accomplished. I know that there's some like jokes about Kyrie Irving and especially Andrew Wiggins and how he's not going to get a medical exemption.
I think that's more than jokes. That's like seriously may fuck over. Well, maybe not Brooklyn.
Of course, but it's sort of thing like when you consider those situations and then consider how we as Knicks fans don't have to worry about that. The only time we would have to worry about that is if a player is traded to the Knicks and is not vaccinated. And I'm curious about if or how that might impact future trades, but that's a story for another day. For right now,
hadn't thought of that.
It's great that the 15 players on the Knicks have been vaccinated, and we don't have to worry about, was this player vaccinated? Why can't he play? Blah, blah, blah. It's done. Great.
On the list of the 100 things that like I did not want to spend my time podcasting about, writing about, thinking about, anything about this season, number one was like that discussion of like anonymous Nick X, or maybe like not anonymous Nick X, because we would have probably known, right? Yeah. Thankfully, we don't have to talk about that. Okay, so get that out of the way, and of course we found out about that on Friday with I'm going to call it an impromptu press conference, because the Knicks have already announced that their media day is going to be Monday at 10. Your boy will be on the Zoom part of that media day. Still not in the cool kids club, Jeremy. Just throwing it out there.
Listen,
maybe
you're at the party, right? You're in.
Maybe if I get an earring like Berman,
that could work.
Do you?
I mean, at the same time, I feel like you could also just show off your tats. That way, you're just like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm chill.
Knicks PR doesn't know I have tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's what's necessary to get me invited to the live version of this. Look, I'm not expecting much out of that. It's going to be the usual pomp and circumstance, just like Friday was, for the most part, the usual pomp and circumstance. I believe it was Leon, Tibbs, and did Perry speak? I think Perry spoke as well.
Perry's one who I believe said everyone was vaccinated.
Yes, Perry. That's right. Thank you. I mean, if you're someone that likes to get fired up about quotes about culture and we're not skipping steps, and like it's funny because if you really wanted to, you could go back and find like an old Steve Mills press conference and compare some of the lines that we heard from like Leon Rose to some of the shit that Mills said. It's not all that different. Spoiler alert. But we did find out some things, the vaccinated thing, and then I think probably the most notable the other piece of news, if you want to call it that, is that Mitchell Robinson is not yet. Well, he's not all the way back, I guess would be the way to say it. And they're still taking it cautiously with him. I guess I don't know if I obviously didn't hear it. I feel like if I heard it and saw it, I would be able to tell if they were like displaying an overabundance of caution. But based just on what they said, I'm not sure that I'm worried. Are you worried, Jeremy?
I'm in between. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I understand the philosophy of how there's a source saying that it's precaution, it's fine, they just want to take it easy with them, and I'm sure that could be the case easily. Yeah. So I'm not going to speculate like there was a setback or this or that. But I'm still trying to think about how I know this is a very serious foot injury, and there's a reason why they're taking it slow. But you also have to wonder, based on what is the believed recovery time, when the injury happened, not being a doctor, but reading up on this, and people who are doctors who are saying this, especially because there's, I'm forgetting his name, but I think it was In Street Clothes is what his blog might be, where he recorded the games and the times missed of players and if it came back and all this. So it feels a little concerning, but I'm not at the point where it's like
typical is 2 months, right? Or am I imagining that? I may have read that randomly on Twitter yesterday.
I don't, that part I don't remember the exact. So that's the thing. Like it feels like it's a longer time than that.
It's been 7 months. So,
but it's also been 7 months. And granted, there's not going to be a game for another less than a month, at least one that counts. So I do understand the philosophy of like, hey, this is why Nerlens Noel is a starter. Not necessarily because Nerlens Noel is better than Mitchell Robinson, but because if Mitchell Robinson isn't a full go and they want to ease Mitch back into the fold, having Noel be the kind of like the starter at first, that might be a way of just getting him back on track, him being Mitch in this case. But until Mitch is missing games and we're seeing like his foot is a problem, I'm going to be a little concerned, but I'm not going to be overly.
Couple things. One, long live Taj Gibson. So nice that he's just there. Just, it's like breaking case of emergency. Two, I consider myself president of the I hate engaging in annoying narratives fan club. And like this allows the Knicks and Tibbs and whoever you want to say to open the season with Noel as the starter. And we don't have to have the annoying conversations about that. And like, what does it mean? What is it? Mitch's contract, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm very happy about that. Personally, I don't know how you feel. And Jen, right.
We did this last year too, right?
Yes, we did the same shit.
And Mitch beat him out for a reason because he's a better player than Nerlens Noel. But it's also when Mitch can't play, Noel can fill in fairly admirably. It's when games matter even more towards the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a bit more of a problem. But guess what? The playoffs are not happening right now. They're happening months from now. So we don't really have to worry about that sort of issue until later.
I mean, look, I think it matters because given the schedule in the beginning of the year, I think it's especially important. And, just kind of the whole narrative issue, like coming off a hot year, you want to see them start well. I, again, like maybe some other people do, I feel like I still have the memory of 2013-14 fresh in my mind. And I believe that was a 2-9 start, and that was not fun. I do think the beginning of the season is important. That said, like, I think they'll be okay. I'm not saying Mitch doesn't make a difference. I'm not saying he doesn't make a big difference, but like this, if he does miss some regular season games, and big if, I don't think that should be an excuse. And look, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but suffice it to say that Nerlens Noel contract is looking better by the day. Let's, we'll hope for the best. And last thing, and I'm curious if you have any thoughts on this. I have to think that this is playing into the contract negotiation stuff, right? A little bit.
I'm laughing because I thought it, and I didn't necessarily want to say it because I thought I'd be jumping the gun. But since you
we're all
brought
friends
it up,
here, Jeremy, we're all
of course. No, I'm glad you did. It prompted me to say something. Sure, I think the conspiracy theory could be like, oh, well, the Knicks don't want to pay Mitch as much, so they're taking it slow. So I think that the Knicks care much more about winning games, and if Mitch is healthy and gives them a better opportunity to do that, then they're going to play him. But they're more concerned about his long-term future. This injury that he had, there's a risk of it happening again. And if it happens again, then, we know big men and their feet. It's not the best combination when the feet are injured. No. So that sort of thing where I'm sure it does impact it a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, how many games is he really missing? Is he just coming off the bench? Like, if he comes off the bench for the first, say, 10 games of the season, I'm just hypothesizing. Yeah, that's an eighth of the year. But if he's doing it well, and then if he's back in the rotation, the starting lineup, and he's, fitting kind of in where he was last year and improving on that too, then I don't think it will matter in the end.
God, I really don't want to talk about this more. There is at least the potential for this to get messy if, like, Robert Williams starts the season as Boston starter, just for example, and as many people are predicting he will, kills it. Of course, he hasn't been able to stay on the floor either. Talk about guys who are actually injury prone. And then you have Mitch here, maybe playing 15, 20 minutes a night. And again, this is something that needs to be a reminder. These are ongoing contract negotiations. He could sign a contract extension up to $12 million annually as a starting salary tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, right up until unrestricted free agency. So it's not like this issue goes away after the start of the season, which is the case for most rookies eligible for a contract extension, but Mitch was a second round pick. All right. Just wanted to throw that out there. Okay.
One more thing with the press conference. Yeah. We kind of glossed over it, but John, Leon Rose spoke. Oh my God. Crazy.
Shout out to Mike Vorkanoff. Just real quick. My first thought when I saw that Leon Rose spoke was Vork. God, I love you, because he complained about this ad nauseum. And then, of course, he's been off the beat for 2 weeks. And
it was like they named but then they named Fred Katz as the next in line. And it was like right away.
Immediately
speaks. Yeah.
I don't care.
That's the basis for it. Like, I do want to hear every now and then about moves when they happen. But they were asking Leon Rose, they being members of the media, were asking Leon Rose questions that seemed just so banal that it didn't matter. Like that's the thing. It's just like, cool, Leon Rose finally spoke. What'd he say? Oh, nothing. Okay. So what was really the difference between him speaking and not speaking? It's just, he gave kind of like your standard PR answers that they could then convert into an article and create content where you can still do that without Leon Rose speaking. So it just like, I don't know, seeing some people being like, oh yeah, Leon finally speaking. It's great. He owes us a response. When there's a transaction, sure, I'd love to hear from him. It would have been great to hear the Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier press conference.
I don't
need it. I don't need it because that's the other thing, right? Why is Leon Rose? Why would he be discussing strategy? Why should we know more than what they're doing? Like, why is it that the competitors should have as much intel as we as fans, right? That's my bigger thing, because what are they supposed to say? Or what are they supposed to say? We know what they want to do ultimately, right? They want to build a contender and then compete for a championship.
Yes.
How are they going to get there? You think they're really going to tell us how they're going to get there? We can speculate, but
the funny thing is, he told you how his plan. It's not any big secret. He said,
right.
We're going to continue to try to be aggressive, but at the same time, we're not going to be stupid. Guess what? Every other fucking team in the league is trying to do the same thing.
And then I feel like fans want specifics, and you're not going to get that. Like we just saw Joe Lacob get fined, what, $50,000 to talk about Simmons not working on his team? Yeah. Right. Like not going to comment on players. We know what they need to improve upon and what they need to do. So I was just laughing at the response to it. Cause just like, why does it matter that much? He's just giving you bullshit answers. What is it really going to satisfy for you? But
it's a non-story. Just continue running the basketball team well. You could not talk to me for the next 10 years. I don't care.
And even said it. He said, as an agent, I didn't talk much. It's like, oh, wow. Okay. Maybe the thing that helped make you successful in one role carries over to the other role. And especially even more so when you can't be talkative about what you want to do.
Actions speak louder than words. Okay. There's nothing else in the press conference that I want to talk about. I mean, Tibbs said some very nice things about RJ Barrett. He said some very nice things about Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. Both guys have been in the gym all summer. Whatever. That's it. It's a new season, fresh start, all that jazz. I'm sorry if you want us to go in depth on all of these flowery quotes. We have better things to do. Speaking of which,
this is not the next thing we're doing is definitely not a better thing to do, but
it is a better thing to do because it's shitting on our organization, which is the best thing to do because it's not our organization. Minnesota fired their what was his official role? I don't know. Whatever. The guy who was in charge of basketball decisions, Gerson Rosas, possibly because he was carrying on a extramarital relationship, consensual extramarital relationship with a staffer on the Timberwolves. I guess this had something also to do with their unhappiness with how he was conducting his operations, with how he was running the basketball team. It's on the eve of training camp, so it's a bad look. There's been a lot of spin since then. Brilliant athletic article by, you want to talk about spin cycle? Did you read the Shams postmortem about how this was months in the making and they needed to do this now? And it's just
God. I did not read it, but
you should, dude. You should. It's good. It's high level spin. Whatever. We don't have to engage in that. Karl Anthony Towns was a former client of Leon Rose. Went to Kentucky. Played for Tom Thibodeau. I don't feel.
What did he do, John? What happened?
Well, he said what after, what was it? 5 minutes after the firing was announced, he tweeted out WTF, which even me, old man, knows stands for what the fuck. I kind of had this conversation a little bit with Chip Murphy on his pod, so it was more because it had just happened and they wanted me to talk about it, and I talked about it. This is not a conversation I want to have right now. I don't think we need to talk about Karl Anthony Towns. I don't want to trade for Karl Anthony Towns. We can't trade for Karl Anthony Towns because the money doesn't work, because of the rules in terms of when you could trade players who were just signed over the summer. So this is literally a non-issue right now. But he's a potential top 10 player in the league. He may be unhappy. He has 3 years left on his contract. It's going to be a story. It's not a story I want to think about yet. That's my position. I'm curious what you think.
Well, first, I'm just curious. When you say potential top 10 pick,
potential top 10 player,
top 10 player, excuse me. Do you mean down the line? Do you mean next season?
I mean, Karl Anthony Towns has the talent to be one of the 10 best players in the NBA. I think right now. I think he has that talent right now. He's not. I mean, he averaged, I think, a career high. I forget if it was a season ago or 2 seasons ago. 4.6 assists. He's been over 4 the last couple seasons. So, you're not getting Jokic playmaking from that spot. You're not even getting Randall playmaking, but you're getting a little bit of playmaking. A guy who could make the pass when it needs to be made. And when you combine that with, I don't know what his 3-point percentage is, but it's pretty good, and the volume is there. And then you throw in the fact that he's pretty devastating down low. Offensively, he's there. So what has it been? It's been injuries. It's been a complete lack of giving, even not a whole turd. He doesn't even give like a little pebble of a turd of a shit on defense. The smallest little nothing. No shits given at all. And it's been like that for years. And Zach Lowe talked about this recently on his podcast. Like, I remember watching the guy in Kentucky, as I'm sure you do. I thought that was going to be his calling card more than the offense when he came into the league. And so I think the fact that he just, you want to be the face of a franchise. You want to talk all the game about how you're going to turn things around and this is going to be different now. And like, I never know how to parse out, is the franchise having the negative effect on him, or is the player having the negative effect on him? I think it's more the franchise having the negative effect on him, because the Timberwolves have a much longer track record of tomfoolery than Towns does. But like, I think he has it in him. So if you combine that with the offense, I mean, yeah, I think he has the potential. I think he could be a top 10 player right now if he puts in the effort and if he wants to be. Gotcha.
I was just curious what you meant by it, because so I view him highly. I just don't view him in that level.
And that's fair. I mean, he hasn't earned it.
Right. And also there are a lot of incredibly talented players that he would have to supplant to get to the top 10.
Like Dame is maybe the 10th best player in the league right now, right?
Right. And Dame is incredible.
Like, Dame's could win the fucking MVP this year for all we know. It's like Karl Anthony Towns is not Dame. So yeah, I get that.
So I guess we could probably start with the Timberwolves, right? The Timberwolves are not going to willingly trade Karl Anthony Towns right now. He's got 3 years left on his deal.
Yeah, no options, and it's just straight 3 years.
Right. And I still maintain that with this new 2025 contract coming in, that will affect the CBA. Probably not like what we saw in 2016, but it's still going to be more money coming in. I think guys like him and Booker are going to sign 1 year extensions so that they hit their 10th year, the year that the new contract comes in.
So like a 1+1 with one year, with
just a 1 year extension, like a 1 year max, right? So I'm saying in 2023, I'm guessing they sign 1 year maxes. It sets themselves up for a 35% contract in a new year when the cap goes up, as opposed to in 2024 when it'd be a 30% max, and then the new TV deal hasn't kicked in yet.
So you're saying the moment that Towns becomes eligible to sign some sort of extension, which will be next
2023.
Can he sign it with 2 years left on his deal?
He could. I think he regardless.
He could.
He probably could.
Okay. But he probably, I agree with you. He's probably not going to. Okay.
Right. Adding a 1 year max onto both of their things, both their contracts. And then that way they're eligible for more money regardless, right? Let's just say he does become a free agent in 2024. No way out. He'd have to force the trade. We're looking at the Ben Simmons situation. This isn't nearly as bad as that. The Wolves can also just say, no, we don't want to do that. Look what we did. We've built around you the way you want. We got D'Lo you're close with. We just drafted Anthony Edwards first overall. Yep. We've made trades to help address the defense. We're working with you. We have a coach that is bringing out the best in you. All we're doing is just kicking out the top guy, but we're, Gupta is still going to be in charge, or at least he'll be in charge now.
We think. Yeah.
Right. Then you factor in the Knicks. As you said, the Knicks can't move any big contracts right now anyway, because they just signed Julius Randle. He can't physically be moved because of the new contract. Same thing with Fournier, Kemba Walker, Burks, Noel, Rose, all these guys. The biggest contract the Knicks could move right now is RJ Barrett, and they're not going to do that. Then there's the philosophy of fitting Karl Anthony Towns even on this team, right? Let's say it gets to the point where the Wolves say, all right, Karl Anthony, we're going to give in. You want to trade, we'll trade you. Then the Knicks getting Karl Anthony Towns. Number one, I think I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, if the price is right, I want, it depends on the deal. Listen, guys, if you think Karl Anthony Towns is as good as he is with 3 years left on his deal, there is no if the price is right. No. It's okay. How much are we going to have to pay for Karl Anthony Towns? And it's a lot. It's a lot, right? Yeah. And it's the sort of thing of what are you even left over with? And then how are you going to, because if you're cashing all your chips in on a big who I ultimately think doesn't work with Randle on defense either.
There's something about it that I don't like.
Yeah. And exactly. The offense, I get it, right? Like And I've talked about this before. In theory, sure.
You get it, but like again, show me the last two. I hate. I know you can't use the term traditional big man with Karl-Anthony Towns because he shoots threes, and so does Randall and the whole thing. But like, there's still two big guys who like move like big guys, like, and they're not like neither of them was LeBron James. Let's just say it like that. Like He's the exception. He's the big guy that's not a big guy. This is different. I don't love it.
Right, and I mean that's the thing to think about, where I've said this before. I think there is a focus on a 5-out offense. People love shooting, and it makes sense, right? Because the ball goes in the basket and it's exciting. But you don't need a 5-out offense to succeed. And when you look at the best lineups that have been featured, unless they have like Jokic, who is an MVP candidate because he won the MVP last year. Hell, even like the Kristaps Porzingis fives, like where they play 5-out with Porzingis, like they do well, but defensively not great. And also Porzingis, we all know about him. So when you get to Karl-Anthony Towns, it's not like you can't do well, but you're sacrificing something on defensive end. And we know what the Knicks like, right? We know that at the center position, they like guys who are not Karl-Anthony Towns. and this is the thing, right?
I know a coach who likes that.
Exactly. The thing about it is I understand the philosophy of, well, if the Knicks got a star, they'd make it work, right? They'd figure out a change of plans. But we have to consider fit, because the Knicks have chosen Julius Randle above any other possibility, right? Like we could say they're building around him and RJ Barrett, but the point is that they have financially invested in Randle. They haven't done that in Barrett yet because they haven't even been able to, but they just simply haven't. So
and just very quickly, if you think they're going to ship Julius Randle off to Minnesota,
no
to Minnesota, they're not doing that to him.
Hey, Julius, thanks so much for taking that discount. By the way,
appreciate.
Hope you like Minnesota in February. I've been to Minnesota in February.
You have?
I have. I was there for a convention in college, and the school flew me and a couple other friends in our club out there, and it was a lot of fun, just chilling there. But I wanted to experience what really cold weather was, because I just thought like, hey, why don't I step outside while I'm waiting for the van to take me to the airport to leave this hellish place. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. Minnesota's cool, but
fun, but hellish.
Right. So I'm standing outside. It's negative 10 degrees, negative 30 wind chill. And my like dumb brain that is still developing, that probably stunted because of the cold and left me just, a shell of what I could have been. Like I had so much more potential, but the cold just ruined it. I step outside and my bones actually were cold. I was out there for maybe 5 minutes, couldn't feel my legs for another half hour because the wind chill just was that strong. All right, we're getting off track here, but that's what Minnesota can be in terms of the cold, which is why they have, the sky, the walkways between buildings, because why would you go outside?
It's that cold. They literally are like, you should not walk outside ever.
Exactly. But again, having Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, to me, it doesn't mask it on the defensive side at all. I think your rebounding suffers quite a bit, but that's the thing, right? Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson. I mean, even going as far as like John Henson and Norvel Pell. This isn't a competition of talent, because we know Karl-Anthony Towns is better than all of them.
Yeah.
What it is that there's a clear, distinct archetype of what the Knicks have done repeatedly.
Yep.
And that's what Tom Thibodeau likes. And then you have Karl-Anthony Towns.
Jericho Sims.
Right. And Towns, to me, I feel like would thrive in the Julius Randle role, which is occupied by Julius Randle. So, and then it's like, if you're having Karl-Anthony Towns as a 4, what does that do to your team? How does that impact it? And again, like the Knicks have improved their spacing drastically compared to last year. And we know what they like in the wing position and at the lead guard spot too. It's easy to see. I mean, again, Elfrid Payton, I think, is the anomaly. I think more with someone like Kemba Walker, with Emmanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, like players who can pull up nicely, right? And who can break down a defense. And on the wing spot, certainly scorers who can facilitate, at least in RJ's case, someone who can certainly defend. I don't think Fournier is terrible, but it's not as good as RJ Barrett. Point being here that the Knicks are setting themselves up where we can identify who works and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And what position. And we can identify Karl-Anthony Towns does not work at the spot that they want, or that he would have to fit in as.
Well, let's just be very clear. Again, in the world that doesn't exist, that I know some fans wish did, if you could get Karl-Anthony Towns for pennies on the dollar, like this conversation does not apply. But that's not reality. If you're going to mortgage everything, because it would be everything to get like that guy, and I'm not even necessarily saying like, Dame would be like that much better, because guess what? Dame's 31 years old. Karl-Anthony Towns is whatever he is, 24, 25. Like there's a consideration there. But like when you make that move, when it comes time to make that move, like you want to make sure, like beggars can't be choosers. But I don't think the Knicks are beggars anymore. So, and we've talked about that. And I actually think that is one thing that they talked about at the press conference on Friday. Like we've laid the foundation now where players, again, Steve Mills once said this too, so take it, I guess, with a grain of salt. But like, players are looking at the situation as like, hey, that's someplace I might want to go. I don't really have anything else to say on Towns.
I'll say this.
What?
Let's say the Knicks, for whatever reason, cashed in on Karl-Anthony Towns, right?
Sure.
Let's say they gave up a bunch of picks, some of their good young players, and they rolled with, at the very least, Karl-Anthony Towns and Julius Randle. So here's my question.
Yes.
What do the Knicks do next? Yeah. How do the Knicks continue to build a legitimate contender?
Yep.
Because they've cashed out for the most part. So when you look at the players who are likely to be on the market, and again, we didn't think Ben Simmons would be on the market with 4 years left. We didn't think Karl-Anthony Towns in this situation scenario is on the market with 3 years left. Anything's possible. But when you have those types of players, the cost is exponentially higher because you get that control. So we could then go to 2022, right? How are you going to facilitate something? Then 2023, cool. Okay. Maybe the price of some other guys is better, but you still have to make a trade to make it work. Point being, it becomes so much more challenging. And I think
it's a lot harder. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, because nothing's ever impossible, but it becomes a lot
really hard. And that's, I think, ultimately where the Knicks are going to say, hey, we want to trade for a star. In fact, we want to figure out a way to get multiple other stars if we can. The question here is position-wise, right? And I think that the Knicks just simply prioritize star-level talent at the wing and the lead guard spot more than they would someone like a Karl-Anthony Towns center type.
It's not the Knicks, it's the league. I mean,
it is, but right. But I'm of course, but I'm saying that the Knicks specifically based on how they've been built, right? Like the Mavs, for example, they went in with the Porzingis trade. Like, okay, yeah, we know he's got a bust ACL and some allegations and he has a looming contract, all these things, but it's cool because he shoots threes and we want to do a 5-out offense and he's white and we basically want to try to figure out how we can win and he helps us. So the big thing,
shots.
Snuck that in there. So the big thing with Dallas, though, is that they knew right away, right? We want a 5-out offense.
Yeah.
And the Knicks know right away, we don't want that. We want something that's more structurally sound, where it's two-way, where the Mavs set one of the greatest offenses. I mean, at the time, they set the greatest offense of all time. And since then, it also is no longer the greatest because offense has just skyrocketed. And,
the seven best offenses in the history of the league all happened last year. So
right. And we'll see if the new rules with offensive fouls, if that changes it. I think it might. But but the sort of thing again, where it's just like, yes, you can collect a lot of talent, but I think then this idea of 2K comes into play. It's not just grabbing all stars, putting them together and being like, cool, go. It's how does he fit around the players we are building around? Because the Knicks are building around Julius Randle. Hopefully they keep RJ Barrett in mind. To me, anyone else is fair game. And from there, you just build accordingly.
No, well said. I'm not going to add anything on because I think you covered it all. Continue being smart, Leon Rose, and I think you will. Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about? I mean, I don't think so, right? I mean, there was the Zion story that came out this week for the New Orleans paper, which it's kind of old news. Him and Griff aren't really talking, but again, we've talked about Zion before. I'm sure we'll talk about Zion again. Let's get to the game. Come on, can we get to the game?
Of course, you want to get to the game. Yes, let's get to the game.
Mr. Claudio.
Hi guys, I am impressed that you got as much as you did out of that story, guys. Especially you, Jeremy, because I could see your brain going into full cat or no cat mode.
I like that.
I didn't
connect when I saw it written.
Yeah.
But.
Wow.
Well done, guy. It's not going to be available for like for your math, 3 years, and we did a full 10 minutes on him. Good job, guys. Another good job I'm going to say to one of you in just a second is because it is time for the finale of I Know the Knicks. We have a DJ, right? Like a guy that offered
I was
us
about
music.
to say that's a perfect
Should
place
have
for
music,
for
somewhere in
something.
here.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, with royalties, I'm gonna get a strike on this video and be really upset in the future. So anyway,
We got to create our own beat then.
we did
Some sort of trivia game show.
drop it, Jeremy. Go ahead, drop it.
Well, the only thing that comes to my mind is the Yankees trivia, actually.
Oh, I think if Price is right.
One. Well, yeah, but I mean, like that's. I didn't want to use like one of the big ones, so yeah, we could mix a bunch of them together and then get multiple strikes on it.
This is what the people come for.
All of the strikes. There you go. Anyway, for the finale of I Know the Knicks, I've actually added a little twist onto the wrinkle we added last week with strikes. Speaking of strikes, onto each category. So there's a 3-strike and you're out category. There's a 4-strike and you're out category. And then there's a 5-strike and you're out category. Now, the 3-strike category is 21-22. The 4-strike is post-decision from July 8th, 2021. And the 5-strike category is post-me since August 3rd, 1988. I'm not going to make you know something that happened before I existed. John, you are our reigning champion, potentially going to go for a 3-peat today. You get to go first. Which category would you like us to choose?
You know what I'm choosing.
No, I don't actually. I need you to tell me.
Old school. We keep it old school. Here.
Okay, old man.
Yeah, even I picked up on that.
So this one is an Elfrid Payton themed category. That's right. You want to know what we're doing? 12 Knicks since 1988-89 have averaged below 45% from the field, below 30% from 3, played more than 1,000 minutes while attempting more than 50 3-point attempts. All right, you guys each have 5 strikes.
Can I just go? So under 45% from the field.
I will say, so there's 12 Knicks. Elfrid Payton's one of them, obviously.
Okay. Under 45% from the field, under 30% from 3.
Yes. More than 1,000 minutes, more than 50 threes attempted.
And more than 50 threes attempted.
Yes.
More than 50 threes attempted specifically.
Yes. More than 50
in a season.
Yes. In a season.
Okay. There's literally no one that comes to mind as like an obvious one. So I'm just going to start with the name. 5 strikes and you're out. Go ahead.
Emmanuel
Mudiay.
Incorrect. Jeremy, you can go for as long as you want. Wow, you guys might go 5 strikes and out.
This is
think of Knicks that have frustrated.
It's below 40% from the floor.
Below 45% from the floor.
Below 40%, below 30% from 3?
Yes. Below
okay. Yeah, no, you said it. I'm just trying to process. All right.
You're good.
Honestly, Frank Ntilikina.
So here's the funny part. No, but Ntilikina was 96 minutes away in his second season, the first Fizdale season, from qualifying. So he played 904 minutes his second season and shot below 30% from 3 and below 40% from the field. So would have qualified. I actually don't think he attempted enough threes, but regardless, Ntilikina is incorrect, just barely. John, back to you.
Okay. So the interesting thing here is that it's since 88, 89.
Yes.
When players back then shot a lot worse.
There are some names on here that you guys have hated through the years, is what I will add.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You know what? No, he would have never shot over 45% from the field. Okay. Again, this is a really, really tough category.
I kind of thought this would be our last one, so maybe a good thing it's going to be our first one, so we can get it out the way.
I don't think he ever shot. No,
it's like the Oscars last year with the acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Good win last
Greg
night,
Anthony?
Greg Anthony is one of them. He did it twice. Good job, John.
John
has 1 point. Good win last night, by the way, Jeremy.
Oh, thanks. I played a big part in that.
I know. Congrats to you and only you. Yeah.
Nice beating the blue and yellow Sox.
Yeah, I hate those jerseys so much.
Putrid.
Yeah.
No, he never. Okay, I'm gonna give you a name.
Why are they yellow?
I don't know.
Glenn Rice.
Incorrect, but good guess. That's strike 2 for John. Jeremy,
Only there
back
for
to
a
you.
year. I took a stab.
Ron Baker.
Incorrect.
Did not attempt. Did he ever attempt 53?
I can check, but I don't think so.
it's fine.
Wow,
I'll
this
do
might
it to
be.
defend myself.
I will go with. Man, who are some players that people have really? Oh wait,
There's an obvious one.
Julius
Go ahead.
Randle.
Incorrect. Julius Randle didn't shoot less than
45% from the field in his
That's
first
what it
year
is,
at the
yeah.
Knicks. Okay. All right. Bad job by me.
So in his rookie year, Ron Baker took 86 threes.
Oh, he did.
And he shot below 40% from the floor, below 30% from three.
How many
Problem
minutes?
was he played 857 minutes.
That's what it is.
Okay. Got
I'm
it.
thinking of players who are just below the threshold, which
So
I think is messed up. And I think this is a conspiracy theory to kind of put me down so John can keep winning. But
Listen,
whatever.
I'm not going to get another one probably here. It's your turn.
So Julius Randle shot 46%.
Okay.
From-
So that was not a
although-
ridiculous guess.
Wasn't ridiculous because he would have qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he attempted 64 threes that first year with the Knicks.
Well, I would have thought he attempted more. All right, Jeremy.
I mean, Andrew's saying there are a lot of players
There is an
Yeah.
obvious one that there's a very obvious one. And I will say the reason I shortened it a bit, because Elfrid Payton shot 43% from the field, 27% from three, played like 1,600 minutes last season, and then took 80 something threes, I think it was. So I had to keep shortening the criteria so that it wasn't just like these random cast offs.
Yeah.
And I thought I came up with a list of a few obvious ones.
No, I'm sure there is. We're just, maybe I haven't had
This
enough coffee yet.
category is more about consternation, like guys that have really frustrated you over the years as Knicks fans, that it's like, man, if he wasn't here, what could our team be?
Okay.
Which is funny because there's two names on this list I don't think belong here. That's another hint to both of you.
Okay. All right.
to me, it's like Elfrid Payton did so much damage to my psyche last year that I have blocked everything out. And like when John's saying Emmanuel Mudiay, it's like, yeah, I could see why that would why that could have been right because of the consternation. And yet, like, he's apparently not on the list.
Emmanuel Mudiay let me look for it.
Jeremy, hold on. Jeremy's filibustering. Jeremy, we need a name.
You've had enough Jeremy, need a name.
All right. I'm going to say, I feel like for at least one of the seasons, it was Lance Thomas.
Incorrect. Lance Thomas shot like close to 40% from three every year he was a Knick.
See, I thought there was 1 year. I knew that. I just thought there was 1 year was like, this isn't great. And towards the end.
Lance Thomas, remember when we did our 3-point category?
I know he did great for a couple of years. I just thought there was maybe that 1 year where he snuck in.
Okay, there's 1 year where he shot 20. Okay, Jeremy's right. There's one year where he shot. So he didn't have enough minutes, but there's 1 year where Jeremy's right.
The minutes police is screwing me over.
I have a guess.
Go ahead,
John. My guess?
Yes.
Derrick Rose.
Incorrect.
He didn't take 50. There are enough threes, did he?
I'd be surprised if he took 5.
Like he didn't even like Jeff Hornacek was like, "Hey, Derrick, we'd love if you could shoot threes," and Derrick's like, "Okay, I'm good." So
Derrick Rose that season took 63s exactly.
So then how did
21% because he shot 47% from the field.
Okay. All right.
That would do it.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Lance Thomas that year shot 45% from three.
Because he's the GOAT.
All right.
The score is 1-0.
I don't know if he had enough minutes, but he's just been so bad, and he's shot at least below 40% from the floor every year he's been a Knick. Kevin Knox.
Incorrect.
Look at Jeremy. He thought he had one. Okay. What was the minutes threshold again? I mean, that
1,000 minutes, at least 1,000 minutes.
And below 30% from three. Okay.
Yes.
Below 45%.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Kevin Knox has never shot below 32%.
Look at you.
Well, it's
you know what it is? The problem is like the 30% from three is getting me because like I'd love to say Tim Hardaway Jr., but he definitely shot over 30% from three. In every year that he was here, unless I'm fucking losing my mind.
I should add, John, you have one more strike left.
Okay. I will say there's no way this guy took 53s or probably for that matter shot that poorly. There's like an old guy. There's like probably an obvious old guy that I'm missing. God.
There's one obvious old guy that I was like, that I thought would be on this list and obviously was. Again,
my God,
I actually stumped you guys with the category. Maybe I made it too hard of a category.
No, it's a great category. I mean, I'll just say that he didn't shoot 53s. Charles Smith.
Incorrect. John is out. Jeremy, can you get on the board before we get out of this category?
Nope.
Come on, think of all-time hated Knicks.
All-time. I mean, John just said an all-time hated.
That's why I said it. I was like, I knew that was wrong.
All-time hated Knicks. Again, Alfred Payton did so much damage.
Yeah, I know.
Now he knows.
I know.
Now he's out.
It's because I had to say all-time hated Knicks, and then
tall guy.
Finally
I think if the one that just popped in my head is right.
Jeremy's not out yet, so
I know.
You might have just given him an answer.
I'll just give you a hint. He's tall. He was tall enough to be a center. I think this is a right answer, but I don't know.
I mean, that's tall enough to be a center. Oh man.
So I'll add, by the way, Greg Anthony in the 2 seasons that we're talking about in 91, 92, shot 37% from the field, 15% from three on 55 attempts in 1,500 minutes. And then...
another one just popped into my head. Sorry.
2 seasons later, in 1994 minutes, so 1,994 minutes, shot 39% from the field, exactly 30% from three, and then 160 attempts. So,
all right. Jeremy, come on.
I have my last guess.
What is it?
Joakim Noah.
Incorrect.
All right. Can I give 2 guesses now that I'm out?
Yeah, good.
They don't count, but you can
Jared Jeffries.
Incorrect.
Oh, that was the guy I was thinking of. What about Charlie Ward?
Incorrect.
Okay.
So let's go down the list.
Yes.
Shandon Anderson did it twice. Shandon Anderson in the 01-02 season, 03-04 season.
I would not have guessed that.
You said Greg Anthony. The obvious one, I thought, Andrea Bargnani in the 2013-14
again,
season.
To what Jeremy said, completely wiped from my memory.
Yep.
Really?
Absolutely.
You just you gave reference to the 13-14 season on this podcast earlier.
Yeah, but it's like the players themselves kind of are like, it was a 1-year thing where his highlight was shattering his elbow.
I thought his highlight was getting the offensive rebound that Chandler tapped out to him when they could have run out the clock and he shot.
To me, the highlight is
what is he doing?
Like the attempted dunk or finger roll.
That's what I'm saying. When
that
he
one
shattered his elbow. And that was it.
Yeah. All right. Keep going.
The one that I didn't think any of you would get is Jerry and Grant in 2015-16 did it. In 18-19, Mario Hezonja did it. Another hated Nick, especially when you factor in how passionate Jeremy was with the Frank conversation last week. Jared Jack did it in 17-18.
His name popped up in my head a few times, and I just never thought he shot below 30% from three, but shows what I know. Okay.
I will give anybody out there a shout out on this podcast if you tell me you remember the Chris Mills season in 97-98.
I remember it well.
There you go. And then the
1997-98.
There you go. Shout out to Jeremy Cohen. There you go. Alfred Payton did it twice in his 2 seasons with the Knicks. And then the shocker, Latrell Sprewell did it once in 98-99.
But again, shooting was down then. It's not like that much of a shocker.
77 threes attempted, 27% from the field. And then John Starks did it in 90-91.
Another name that popped in, and I was just like, I just didn't think he shot below that from three, but there you go. Okay.
And the last but not least, Derek Williams did it in the 15-16 season.
Wow. Okay. See, that's a name that I feel like I should have at least guessed, but oh well. Okay.
Well, Jeremy, the score is 1-0. You get to choose. Do we go 3 strikes or 4 strikes?
4 strikes is from the decision and 3 strikes is from last year.
Correct.
Let's go 3 strikes.
3 strikes. Okay. Last season, there are 14 teams in which the Knicks scored 115 points against last season.
14 teams they scored at least 115 points against.
Didn't do it a lot. Only 18 times in the 72 games Knicks played last year did they score at least 115 points. So you guys have 3 strikes and you're out. Jeremy, you get to go first.
The Mavericks.
Correct. 117. No, how John goes.
Right.
No, how John goes.
Sacramento.
It's only when a strike is issued. Yes, correct. The most they scored last season was 140 points against the Kings.
I'm going to say for one of the games, the Hawks.
Both 2 games, in fact, against the Hawks. So correct.
Let's go with Washington.
The Wizards, they scored 131 points against. Correct. 2-2.
The Bucks.
The Bucks, they scored 130 points. It was their first win of the season. Correct.
That was my guess. Let's go with Detroit.
Detroit, they scored 125 points against. Correct. This is 115 points at least last season.
I think this might be a little bit off, but the Clippers.
In the Clipper game, on the road, they only scored 107. However, in the loss against the Clippers, they lost 129 to 115.
Wow,
correct,
well done.
Jeremy.
That was really good.
I knew I knew it wasn't the away game. I thought maybe the home game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping because it was an overtime game. Memphis.
The Memphis game, yes. In fact, it's not just the overtime game. And on the road, they scored 118. So they won 118, 112, I think, in Memphis. And then they won in overtime 133 to 129 against the Grizzlies. Correct. That started the winning streak.
How many games have we done? Or how many teams have we had?
You guys
so far?
have
8, right?
said 9 teams so far.
Out of
no, it can't be.
No, it can't be. Hold on.
Yeah.
8.
And it's 12?
It's 14. So there's 6 left.
Okay.
Yes. What John said.
The Rockets.
The Rockets, they did it twice, 122 and 121.
Portland?
Incorrect. That is strike 1 for John. And I will say, you guys are now tied.
Okay.
115.
Oh, wait, Jeremy, you said the Rockets, right?
Yeah,
I did.
Okay.
I'm going to say for their win, I don't feel great about it, but what do I have to lose other than my dignity? The Lakers game they won.
The Lakers game they won is incorrect. They did not score.
Okay.
They won by 20, but they didn't. They won by 15, but they didn't score 115.
Right.
What was the final score for that one?
I'll look it up, but it's not on this list.
Let's get it back. Pelicans.
The Pelicans game, it's correct. I'm just looking for the correct answer.
Great.
The Pelicans game, they did it twice. They scored 122 and 116.
Okay.
All right, John, you get to keep going until you're out.
The Thunder?
The Thunder game, they scored 119 points. Correct. And you said the Pelicans before that.
Yeah, this is a reach, but I'm thinking the Rivers game. The Jazz?
Incorrect. Jeremy, back to you. So John, just real quick score update. John has 7 points. Jeremy has 5 points.
Yeah.
And you said the Thunder. That's right. Okay, there are 3 remaining teams. You guys have said 11 so far.
The Bulls?
Incorrect. John, back to you.
I would have thought that was right. The Raptors.
So the Bulls game, they won 113 to 94.
Okay.
And the Raptors is correct.
Okay.
They scored
I go again?
Yeah, so they scored 120 against the Raptors.
I actually don't. The next answer I'm going to give, I don't think is right, but I'm just out of teams. Cleveland?
Incorrect. Jeremy, back to you.
Hornets.
No. They scored 118 against the Hornets. My apologies. Overtime game last weekend of the season.
So how many teams are left?
There's one team left. Jeremy, can you get it?
No.
Jeremy
Pacers?
has one strike, right?
He just said Pacers.
Now he has 2 strikes. Go ahead, John. Can you name it?
Did anyone say Boston?
No.
Boston?
No. John is out for this round. Jeremy, can you get the last one to make it an 8-7 game?
We said a lot of teams.
Yes, you did. You want me? I'll go through the list real quick.
Yeah.
You guys said the Kings, the Hawks, the Grizzlies, the Wizards, the Bucks, the Pistons, the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Raptors, the Thunder, the Hornets, the Mavericks, the Clippers.
And then the teams we got wrong.
Yeah, those are the correct teams so far. And then you guys said the Bulls, the Celtics, the Pacers.
Oh, I know what the last team is.
Okay. Well, you're right.
But let Jeremy get it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not going to happen. I'm just
And then there's one more that she said.
trying to think of the teams in my mind in terms of where they finished, and it's not as easy. I'm trying to group it by division.
Mm-hmm. You do that. You like to do that and look at divisions in your head. I've seen you do it this way.
It's easier for me. I feel like it's an Atlantic team.
Don't give him a hint.
I'm just looking into the camera.
Just name the Atlantic team that you think it is.
See, I'm choosing between the Nets and the Sixers because I feel like one of the games was close enough.
For what it's worth, I think one of those is the answer.
Yeah, I'll probably pick the wrong one, but I'm going to go with the Nets.
Incorrect. It is not an Atlantic team.
Oh,
I would have said the Nets. Okay.
See, that game where it was close enough.
No, I know the game you're talking about. Okay.
So on January 21st, it was a West Coast trip that had just started. The Knicks went to Golden State and scored 119 points in a 15-point win over the Warriors.
That's obvious.
It is 8-6. We have one more category and hopefully a fun contest down the stretch. In the final category, 18 Knicks since the decision have recorded a 15-point, 15 rebound game at least. Okay. You guys
15. Okay.
Yes. You each have 4 strikes.
I go first.
John goes first.
Cantor.
Correct. But he is the inspiration for this category, to be honest.
15 and 15.
15 and 15. Cantor did it 19 times, by the way. I'll make sure I add that. That's all.
Tyson Chandler
did it 6 times. Correct.
That would have been my next guest. Julius Randle.
Julius Randle did it the second most on this list with 17 times. Correct. So hold on. Score. John's up to 10.
Amare
Stoudemire did it 4 times. Correct, Jeremy.
Mitchell Robinson
did it once, which I remember the game well. Yep.
I remember the game. Yeah.
Damn. Trying to get
it gets difficult at a certain point, but you guys have named 5 out of the 18 so far. So it's got a lot of names left with all your strikes remaining.
All strikes remaining. Okay.
15 points, 15 rebounds.
I mean, again, it's the points are the easy part. It's the rebounds that certainly makes it.
Rebounds kill you every time.
They so do. God. I'm really stumped at this point.
Wow.
I know I shouldn't be. I know, right?
She's stumped too. Jeez.
No, she's saying the answer. I just can't understand
that's what that was. Okay.
Right. Because I believe that babies, when they're born, are actually they hold all the knowledge.
They hold all the knowledge.
They just forget it
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Gotcha.
Okay, we need an answer, sir.
Yeah, no, I know you do. I'm filibustering once again. God, again, it's the rebounds. Okay, I'm trying to think of triple-double players. Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony did it 8 times.
I think that was an obvious one.
Yeah. Well, I got it. So
again, the disrespect, the underrating of Melo's performances. That's the theme throughout this game. Nine points for Jeremy, by the way. John, you're up.
Okay. Since the decision, right? Okay.
Since the decision.
So no David Lee.
Also, yes, that is the category we've been doing for the last 5 weeks.
Got some, I got some names in my head. I don't love, quite frankly, any of them. But we do need an answer here.
Yes, we do.
So, yeah, God, he had to have gotten 15 rebounds at least once. He had to have. I can't believe I'm going to say his name. She doesn't even like it that I'm going to say his name. Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis did it once.
There you go.
Exactly once. He did. He had 24 and 15 against the Warriors in 2017.
And he did it on the number 15 rebounds because I'm not going to say
because you're next to a toddler. See,
I mean, she doesn't know what
people.
No, she does know.
People that don't like.
She does know.
She knows all.
She does know.
Robin Lopez.
Robin Lopez is a good guess. He did it.
That was my only other semi-obvious guess.
Robin Lopez did it 5 times. Now you guys have listed all the main ones that have done it five and up at least.
Okay. I'm going to go a little random here.
Okay.
Michael Beasley.
Incorrect. Jeremy, your turn. You can catch up if you get this.
Yeah.
If you want to catch up.
Yeah, I'll just, God.
You guys have named 8 of the 18. So there's 10 remaining names. And you trail 10 to 12 at the moment.
All right. He was a reserve.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, no, I know. I don't like that I'm suggesting this, but since I'm going towards the bottom of the barrel, Kenyon Martin.
Incorrect. That's a decent guess.
That's a guess.
Yeah,
that is a name. That is definitely a name.
Right.
But he was off the bench enough where I feel like, did he have the opportunity? Maybe per 36.
So you each have per. Yeah. So if I did per 36, I'm sure there's a game.
Shout out to Yash, Kyle O'Quinn.
Kyle Quinn did it twice. Well done.
I love it.
There you go.
Absolutely love it.
The bearded one, Kyle O'Quinn.
And then again, I don't remember the game, and I certainly don't remember him having this many rebounds ever. But I'm just going to say it because he had a phenomenal 40 whatever games here. Marcus Morris.
Incorrect.
Okay,
Jeremy, back to you.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
You each have. Oh, John has 2 strikes. Jeremy has 1. And again, Jeremy, you can kind of catch up here with you're down 3 at the moment.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like reminding me that life ends.
Yes. That's the same. Life ends.
Life
you're down
end.
3 in this fake game that we made up during the off season.
Yeah.
Those are the same thing that just happened.
Again, I'm thinking of big men.
I'm sorry.
This is where I asked John to mute finally. There you go. You're good. I'll ask you to unmute when it's your turn. Don't worry. All right. You just you and me now, Jeremy.
Again, I hate that I'm suggesting this because I don't think he ever scored this many points and had this many rebounds, but screw it. Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah did it once. Well done, Jeremy.
Yes. Wow.
That's one. Holy shit. One correct.
I didn't think he ever did it.
Joakim Noah did it on.
Sorry. Do you smell?
Did you smell a comeback? Is what you're saying?
I don't.
Oh wow, he had 15 points, 16 rebounds.
By the skin of his teeth and mine.
Oh, you know what? It's the Harden game on New Year's Eve 2016 when Harden went for 56, 17, and 18, and Joakim Noah apparently got all the Knicks rebounds that night.
Okay. This is like another go for broke answer.
Listen, here comes the comeback. Let's see it.
Samuel Dallenberg.
Incorrect. Well done, though. That was a good guess.
Popped into my head also, but okay, this is my last guess.
No, you have 2 more strikes.
Oh, okay. Danilo Gallinari.
Incorrect. Now you have 1 more strike. All right, Jeremy, you got a shot here. There's some names here that when you guys hear them later, you're like, oh, of course.
John said Michael Beasley, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, this is 15 points and 15 rebounds since July 8th, 2021. When a certain
Wait, no.
Ohio
2010.
what did I say? 2010. Yeah. When a certain Ohio native took his talents down to South Beach to join that very annoying franchise with very indifferent fans.
I'd
be pretty
myself for this suggestion as well, but Andrea Bargnani.
incorrect.
It's not insane. It's not insane.
I think he didn't rebound well, but I thought maybe one game happened.
No, there's that. It's not. I'm not like criticizing Jeremy for the guess. There is no positive list that Andrea Bargnani falls on in his NBA career. So, unless
there's one list, there is one list. It's the NBA draft list.
I was gonna say NBA draft busts. There you go.
Oh well, I was trying to be a little bit more sensitive.
Oh, number one.
I said you drafted first overall.
That's right.
Damn, Andrew.
What draft is that?
2004?
Is that the 04 draft? That's like who I'm saying. Who else got drafted?
2005 was Bogut, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the Chris Paul there. That's the Chris Paul draft.
Right. I thought 2004 was. I think that's when Bargnani was drafted.
I'll look it up.
No. It's 2006. I think Bargnani was 2006.
I don't know.
I'll look it up while you do it.
Only.
Go ahead, John.
All right. Only because if he did it and I don't say it, I'm going to be mad at myself. I don't
2006.
I don't think he did it. Taj Gibson.
Incorrect. It's a good guess, but incorrect. John, you are out. Jeremy, you trail 13-11 in this game. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more names remaining. Can you get 3 more names?
You keep asking me like I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to. It's not going to happen.
Can you name 3 guys that had 15 points and 15 rebounds since the decision that we have not said already?
You make it sound so easy.
You've been watching the Knicks for a long time, specifically this decade.
I know, but you block out a lot of these things. So
I just want to say the YouTube later of you and me trying to do this list while John's
like jostling the baby.
I'm not jostling the baby. I'm entertaining the baby.
He's playing. Yeah, you're good because this is it's 2 forms of entertainment. Us, Jeremy losing his mind while John, whatever is. I'm trying to figure out what he's humming.
Maybe it's.
I'm not humming anything. I'm just going like D.
Okay. I thought you were saying like I like big butts. I can't. I don't know.
You know what? I should have let you think that.
There you go. All right, Jeremy, you can do this. Come on, 3 names. Think big men.
Tyler Quinn was a good guess.
That was a good guess.
That's a really good guess. In terms of big men.
Big men that played for the Knicks.
No, I know. Well, the last part is apparent. Who played for the Celtics? Okay,
yes.
Well.
Pull Al Horford guess out. That'd be impressive.
That would be.
Yes.
That would be impressive. Again, I'm just going through. I'm going to walk you through it as I stall for time.
Talk me through it. Let's go.
Talk it out. Just talk it out.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm thinking of big men who are able to do it. All right. But did he have 15 points? That's a lot of points. Nerlens Noel.
Incorrect. John wins again.
Can I throw some guesses?
Yeah, good.
Did Jason Kidd ever do it?
No.
Did Jared Jeffries ever do it?
No.
Did Chris Copeland ever do it?
No.
Marcus Camby?
No. Well, not in this time. Camby might have done it. No,
I meant in the return. Wasn't he here post decision?
He was, and the answer.
Did Raymond Felton ever do it?
No.
She didn't do it.
No.
No, she didn't play it. Another guy from that season who didn't play at all. Kurt Thomas. He never did it, right?
No.
Okay. Again,
the infamous Kurt Thomas game where I think he had 10 and 6, and
there you go.
His legs, his feet fell off.
Was that the Utah game?
That's the Utah game after the Clipper game where I thought that season was going to end in misery.
Oh, did Lou Almondson ever do it?
No.
Okay, I was just going to suggest him as well.
Okay.
Jason Smith.
No.
Wow, Jason Smith didn't do it?
No.
Well,
Cole Aldridge?
Cole Aldridge did it once.
Damn it. That's right.
24 points, 15 rebounds in the 2015 season.
24. That man scored 24 points in a Knicks uniform?
John, on 11 of 16 shooting.
Was that against like OKC or
against
Orlando?
Detroit.
Sorry. Actually, you know what? He should have been my not that it matters because I won. He should have been my last guess instead of Gibson. Did Bobby Portis do it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. He never got 15 rebounds, I guess.
You guys want to know the list?
What? Yes. Give me the list.
So last season, let me find the game. Hold on.
Last season?
Last season. No, during the 2019 season. So it was early 2019, 2019-20. He had 19 points and 15 rebounds. RJ Barrett did it. Yeah. So that's one guess you missed. You said Cole Aldrich. That's another name you missed. Wilson Chandler is a name that you guys missed.
John was close when he said Gallinari.
I thought of Chandler briefly. Yeah.
Landry Fields is another guy who did it once. Willie Hernan Gomez did it once. I was wondering if you guys would go that direction with this. DeAndre Jordan did it twice.
DeAndre Jordan was a Knick.
He had
another guy. Yeah, blacked out.
A 15 and 18 game and then a 16 and 19 game. DeAndre Jordan did it twice. And last but not least, I was stunned because he might not accomplish anything else other than one random rookie of the month and this list.
Kevin Knox.
Damn
it.
In 2018, during that rookie of the month, had 26 points and 15 rebounds.
So for what it's worth, when I was saying Kevin Knox, I was actually saying it for this round. I just want the record to be clear.
That?
But
yeah. Mario Hezonja is on this list though. So did I say Mario Hezonja is on this list? Did I skip over his name when I said that?
Did, yeah.
Oh yeah. It was because you guys reacted to Hernan Gomez when you did.
Yeah.
Mario Hezonja is the other name on this list. So that makes 20.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
18. That makes 18. Regardless.
Because John is dealing with the baby. I'll say it for him. Congratulations, John.
John.
I thought that this was at least more. This round was fun because it was at least more competitive than the last one. So that's great. That's I'm glad John will go to bed tonight confident that he knows the Knicks, and
I'm glad too. And while I have 10 seconds to sign out while the baby isn't crying, I just want to say I'm awesome. And thank you everybody for listening.
There you go.
I take back what I said. I'd like to say that being humble, that's the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day.
There you go. So, Jeremy, is there anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
Is there anything that I want to plug?
Do we as a staff, we can edit this later, but do we as a staff have something?
I'll say one thing. So I'd mentioned this on the Patreon about one of the potential games. We're trying to figure out, there might be a different game that we're going to. So if you listen to the Patreon episode, hold off on that game for the moment. Probably spoke it into existence a little too soon. So we're still working on it. Give us a little bit of time. We're trying to figure something out. But I do want to say for the masses, so many of you have reached out and we were overwhelmed by how many of you want to attend this game with us. So, we're really excited for when it happens, and we hope we can make it work. And if not, we can potentially do a second game. We'll figure it out with all these things. But I just wanted to say thank you for all of you who have reached out asking to attend. It was just a really cool response, and we're going to try to figure it out. And when we have more of an update, we will let you know.
Yeah. To just piggyback on what Jeremy said, the response we got let us know we can actually go ahead and do this, which was like the biggest thing that we were worried about. Like, we wouldn't want to say like, yeah, we're in. And then 4 people are like, yeah, we'll go to a suite with you, but we're only paying the price that you said. And then we're out for the cost of a suite. So that's full transparency. You guys let us know that we might be able to do this and do it more than once. So thank you to Knicks Nation for that. We just don't know specifically which game or which games it will be happening yet. But yeah, I think that's all we got. John, do you have a quiet 4 seconds to plug something you'd like to plug?
I don't have anything I want to plug other than to say anyone who hasn't yet, check out Andrew Claudio and Bernardo Zarowski's new podcast.
Oh,
review.
You're sweet. Thank you. Fun episode. I'll just say it because
Really good episode.
Yeah, fun episode. We just did Pulp Fiction. And with The Many Saints of Newark hitting theaters and HBO Max this upcoming week, it made sense that we're going to go down the mob gangster route with Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas coming out on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Okay, that's enough self-promotion. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you dig the show, head over to iTunes, drop a 5-star rating and a review. And we'll be back later this week and with Media Day coverage and more.
And babies.
And babies, apparently. One of us will be back with babies. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, congratulations, Andrew.
No. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Until next time, thank you for listening, and we'll be back soon. Take care.